Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will discuss about what are the homeopathic medicines for a suicidal thought in depression measure. So basically in this video, we will discuss about the top 2 homeopathic medicines which has been successfully used for the suicidal tendencies in the depression measure. So let's talk about it. So first of all, before starting about the homeopathic medicines, I would like to discuss about depression measure, that what exactly is the meaning of depression measure. So let's talk about it. So what is depression measure? So major depression is different from other 2 types of depression: chronic low grade depression or dysthymia and depression moods. Major depression refers only to cases where the psychotic symptoms of suicidal thoughts or behaviors are accompanied. Major depression occurs in all ages of the people. It affects both the sexes, male and female, with an increased incidence mostly in the females. Now next we'll talk about what are the causes of depression measure that leads to this condition. So there are multiple causes of depression. Biological people with the depression typically have too little or too much of certain brain chemicals called neurotransmitters. Changes in these brain chemicals may cause or contribute to depression. Cognitive peoples with a negative thinking pattern, people who are pessimist, who have low self-esteem, who worry too much or feel they have little control over life events, are more likely events and are more likely to develop depressions. Genetics, a family history of depression, situational difficult life events including the death of a loved one, divorce, financial problem or moving to a new place can contribute to depression. So these are the various causes, or you can say etiologies, that are responsible. How to recognize depression? Now how will you find that you are suffering from depression measure? Let's talk about it. So basically we'll talk about the clinical features, that is what are the signs and symptoms of depression measure. So symptoms that might help one in recognizing depression are a persistent sad, anxious or empty mood, sleeping too little or sleeping too much, reduced appetite or weight loss, increased appetite and weight gain, loss of interest or pleasure in activities once enjoyed, restlessness or irritability, difficulty in concentrating and remembering, making decisions, fatigue, loss of energy, feeling of guilt, hopelessness or worthlessness, thought of death or suicide. If 5 or more of these symptoms remain for longer than 2 weeks, or if the symptoms are severe enough to interfere with the daily routine, so you should consult a doctor for thorough analysis. So these are the symptoms that you can recognize that whether you have depression measure or not. So this was all about the introduction, that what is depression measure and what are the causes and what are the signs and symptoms. Now next we'll talk about what is a treatment. So basically we'll talk about the homeopathic treatment here, that what are the homeopathic medicines that has been successfully used for the treatment of depression measure. So let's talk about it. So medicines like natrum mur, ignatia amara, califos, coffea cruda are extremely effective homeopathic medicine for depression. But for treating depression measure, different homeopathic medicines are to be used. So first, as you can see here on the screen, we have provided a picture. This is the first and the foremost medicine which has been successfully used for treating depression measure. Now let's talk about it. That is aurum metallicum. So when there are suicidal thoughts, aurum metallicum is a very effective medicine in depression measure when there is a great loathing of life and there are thoughts of suicide. Along with this, there are classical signs of depression in the patient. So if you find such symptoms in your patient, then you can prescribe aurum metallicum to your patient for depression measure in case of suicidal thoughts. Now let's talk about the second medicine, that is natrum sulph. for persistent suicidal thoughts. So natrum sulph is an important homeopathic medicine for treating major depression, where psychotic symptoms of suicidal thoughts are in a greater magnitude, where the patient has to be physically refrained for committing such an act. So, if you find such symptom in your patient, then you can prescribe natrum sulph for persistent suicidal thoughts in case of depression major. So, these are the two basic homeopathic medicines for depression major that has been successfully used for this condition, that is depression major. Now, other than homeopathic medicines, if we talk about the natural treatment, then what is a natural treatment for depression major? So, natural conditions or natural therapies to be considered for major depression are: first one is omega-3 fatty acid. So let's talk about it, that how it's helpful for depression major. So omega-3 fatty acid are a type of fat that is needed for normal brain function, as we all know that. And our bodies cannot make omega-3 fatty acids, so they must be obtained through diet. Studies have linked depression with a low dietary intake of omega-3 fatty acid, and also found that countries with a higher fish consumption, such as Japan, have a lower rate of depression. So cold water fish such as salmon, sardines, and anchovies are the richest food source of omega-3 fatty acid. So this was the first natural treatment for depression measure. Now let's talk about the second thing, that is folic acid. So folate is a B vitamin found in green leafy vegetables, fruit, beans, and fortified grains. It's possible to become deficient in vitamins due to deficiency in the diet or as a side effects of certain medications such as anti-seizure medications or antacids. Preliminary research suggests that a low folate level may make antidepressants less effective for some people, and taking folic acid in supplement form may improve the effectiveness of antidepressant for some individuals. This is the second natural treatment. Now third, diet. So reduce your intake of sweets, avoid alcohol, and vitamin B6 is needed to produce the neurotransmitters serotonin and dopamine. And magnesium, most people do not get enough magnesium in their diet. So good sources of magnesium include legumes, nuts, whole grains, and green vegetables. And the next is exercise. So regular exercise is one of the most effective and inexpensive ways to improve mood and can be integrated into any medical treatment plan. Exercise, particularly aerobic exercises, release mood elevating chemicals in the brain and can decrease stress hormones. So choosing something you enjoy and will stick with, whether it's going to the gym, signing up for the dance classes, playing tennis, gardening, or taking a break. So that's all in this video. We have discussed about top two homeopathic medicines that has been successfully used for the treatment of depression measure. So that's all for today. See you guys in our next video. Till then, stay connected with us for more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe and comment below, and yes, press the bell icon for more updates. Stay safe and stay healthy, and don't forget to do meditation, aerobic exercises, and daily walk for at least 1 hour. And yes, thanks for watching this video.